Hey everyone, this is the Dark Knight of Games here, and I guess today I really wanted to talk about my opinion on the finale of Batman 3 Jokers. I haven't really gotten to that lately, and that's a mistake I hope to fix in this video. So, in the first one I said I liked it. I'm pretty sure I gave it a 9 out of 10, maybe 8.5, something around there. I was on a review kick then. Oh yeah. Anyway, so I read the comic fully, and I'm just gonna say it. I thought that was pretty interesting, with how they by the way, this is spoiler territory. Okay, I'm just gonna warn you guys, but I assume you know that entering this video, so I'll put like a card in the thumbnail so you guys know this is a spoiler review, okay? So anyway, I thought it was a pretty, interesting story. Had somewhat odd characters, and the fact that, well, we haven't really gotten a portrayal of Jason that's actually brought up how he feels about what happened to him. Like, they say show don't tell, and I guess the comics have really shown that he has cleared his stain for the Joker and blames Batman. Like, they've already gone into it. This comic takes it to like a whole another level, and it does kind of feel a little too late for that, considering how much comic history these two characters really have. But then the thing I like about that is they are people, and in general, some people really don't move on. Like how would you move on from having your head bashed in by a crowbar in the Robin costume? You'd be pretty messed up by that. So, that's really what I thought about Red Hood's storyline in the comic. Batgirl, now, there was a moment I really loved about her. Of course, at the end of the story, you know, Batman just, I'm pretty sure it's second, third issue. Batman will bring up to Jason, you know, well, he's talking to Barbara. He's like, I wish Jason turned out more like you, more being able to heal as a better person, becoming better from those scars, especially with what happened to her, being Oracle and all that comic history. So, I really felt like that was interesting by itself, Never really gotten into comparisons between Barbara and Jason. Like, I've never thought to myself how similar these two really are. Not for obvious reasons. Like, yeah, they are different people, but it's just strange to really think of them in the same category. But the story addressed that, and I love it for it. Another thing, which is the moment I absolutely adore, is how we have, at one part of the story, which is the end. This is after the end, I believe. After they apprehend the three Jokers, and a bunch of chaotic stuff will happen. Meaning there's only really one Joker left, which, I mean, what was, like, it kind of makes me wonder, what was the point of this whole story if they were going to kill them all off? Like, there's all the hype, but each one died in, like, every issue. But anyway, we're talking about Batgirl's special moment. So we have her and her dad talking, and Jim Gordon somehow knows about Jason Hers kind of thing that happened earlier. And I gotta say, I don't know. I always thought those two would make an interesting couple. Most people don't like it, or, you know, thought it was okay moment. I kind of really like, I found it to be probably the most interesting moment to me between these two characters, Now, sure, they didn't have to escalate it to this, but, it could just be something you said, like, you can say happened once to demonstrate your awesome knowledge of comics, but other than that, I don't think they really presented that at all. At the end of the story, Jason just leaves a note in the window of her, or the door of her apartment, and it gets swept away. So we're like, oh, he loved her, but she never read it, so he's not going to mention it. But at the end of the story, right, Jim tells her that Red Hood guy, he's real trouble. And she's like, I know, Dad. I'm like, that's interesting to know. It's obviously the implications here are that she may have said it to where he didn't hear it, but personally, I think with some of the changes that the story has made to the comic book canon, mainly in costume design, which that's okay. Everyone has their different way of looking at the characters, but not like I was also gonna say. There's several other things in here that also change with Joker and all of them. Design is not the only thing, really. It's a lot of stuff, so I'm not surprised if she was actually talking to her father there. And I just find it interesting because he knows, and you can really go into does he know Bruce is Batman? I think he does. Because at this point, how wouldn't he? Now, when it comes to the ending, specifically with Joker, I thought it was kind of cheap how they killed all three of them off, basically the main characters of this series. That was sort of a cheap way. Like I just said, cheap, you know, that's a word I'm going to use here a lot. Kind of a scummy way to kill them all off, too. Because we were building up for this for like 2, 3, 4 years. Ever since the start of DC Rebirth, and they just blow it off and say, yeah, well, they're all dead now, and only the cool one that you guys like the most, namely the Killing Joke Joker, because that's the origin that's the most widely accepted, survived. And that could be how you explain how the Joker fits into, I guess, Joker War and all that. Now, the story in general didn't have a lot of consequences. There were some changes established here, but not like monumental. Some of them were big, most were kind of small, but just gonna say I do enjoy the story for what it introduces, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. You know, I give this book a solid rating of, I mean, the entire series, a rating of 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, I raised it up 0.5. Catch you in the next one.